So we have Less Than Zero by Bret Easton Ellis. A thin book, and yet extremely surprising, because here the author does something amazing. Listen, the plot is whatever. The characters are, whatever. What Bret Easton Ellis does in this book is he captures the superficiality, the emptiness, the hollowness, the artifices, the void in each person that is mentioned here. The author has a pulse on this class of person. He understands completely who and what these people are and what drives them. Now, this book, Less Than Zero, is before American Psycho, but even in this book, he just completely understands, let's call it this LA, this Hollywood type of person, right? Superficial, empty, searching for something to satisfy, to fulfill, even though we understand that such things cannot fulfill you as a person, materialistic things, right? And I think this is the key here that the author, mentions again and again in subtle ways, right? These people, they have nothing other than their wealth and their objects, their possessions. They have nothing of theirs, What I like to call it, internal resources. If a person doesn't have internal resources to rely on, he or she becomes exactly what is portrayed in this book. Oh, these people, these characters, they have all the money in the world. They have all the riches. Every door is open for them. They have every advantage. They have every privilege imaginable. They can go anywhere. They can buy anything. And they don't seem like people. This is what I think the author does amazingly. With all of this, these characters, they don't seem like people. And I don't know about you, but I've come across a couple of wealthy individuals in my life, and they don't seem to be all that happy, all that fulfilled, and it seems to me that there's something missing in them, right? But that's just my assessment. So we have a lot of rich people here, the classic archetype, and no matter what they do, no matter what they occupy themselves with, they are simply hollow shells, they are scarecrows, and nothing will ever, satiate them, fulfill them, make them complete, make them whole. Right? Most people in this book, they are either going to nightclubs, or they're going to watch a movie somewhere, or they're just traveling because, right? And the adults, they're doing movies, or they're just hanging around and they're drinking alcohol and they're taking pills. And of course, their kids are doing the same thing, right? What really grabbed my attention is, Clay is the protagonist, and he has two sisters. The eldest, I think she's 14, right? So his sisters, they're already doing cocaine, they're already drinking, they have their fucking money, they're 14 years old and they're already, copying what they see around them, because that's the only value, that's the only standard, that's the only criteria of behavior, conduct, whatever you want to call it. So even the children are already, the next generation is already becoming just like the last, empty shells, basically, right? But there is a problem. There is a problem that I seriously have. And Bret Easton Ellis does this amazingly. Okay, listen. I don't come from a rich family, you know. We all had to work to get where we are painfully, you know. Terrible, terrible. A long time, right? And these people in this book, like, everything is given to them. Everything, every opportunity, every privilege, etc., right? The best schools, you know, all of the connections, business, Hollywood, entertainment, whatever. They have everything, bro. They have everything. And everybody in this movie, everybody has this attitude of, I don't know, being slightly moody and slightly depressed, and they're all bored out of their minds. You know, they go from nightclub to nightclub. They keep on, you know, riding their cars around these famous neighborhoods, whatever, because they have nothing of real value, right? And in the beginning of this book, Clay, it seems to me like it is portrayed that, you know, the greatest hell, the greatest torture for him and for people his age, his friends, is, you know, for them to come visit for the holidays and, God forbid, have a conversation with, you know, their parents. And oh boy, it's just so, it's so bothersome. It's so troublesome, right? And, you know, Clay dreads when his mother and father ask him, you know, what do you want for Christmas? And he's just like rolling his eyes and he says, nothing, I want nothing, you know, like typical spoiled brat. And listen, I like Clay. At least he seems to have some sort of self-awareness, unlike all of his friends, right? But he seems like this spoiled, pampered, I don't want nothing for Christmas. You know what I would have told his daddy? You see, Daddy, what I want for Christmas? I want a blank check, bro. I want a blank check. Let me fill that shit. Like, oh my God. It's incredible. You see, when you have too much, when you are given everything at such a young age, like you take everything for granted. It doesn't matter what you get. It doesn't matter what gift you receive of such value, priceless, that you don't care. It's like, yeah, whatever, you know. It's like how, you know, kings and queens used to be. When they would have, you know, visitors, they would bring gifts of amazing quality and value, and they would be like, you know, just put them with the rest add them to my collection. It's nothing. They don't care about what they have. They don't care if they lose anything that they have, right? They don't, what I'm trying to say is, they don't respect what has been given to them. They don't respect the privilege that they have, right? Right? You see, I don't place a lot of value on materialistic things, money, but, you know, it's not necessarily bad to have money. Listen, if I were to have wealth, you see, I wouldn't buy expensive cars. I wouldn't go to these lame-ass nightclubs that, you know, you pay $500 for a drink, whatever, right? I don't care about all of these celebrities. I don't care about all of these fucking neighborhoods. I don't want to be seen by anybody. I don't want to go to these stupid-ass, lame-ass parties. See, I would have wealth so that I don't have to worry about, you know, the gas bill or the electric bill, you know. That's what I want wealth for. I don't give a fuck about jacuzzis and yachts and fucking, I don't know, golfing clubs. That's all lame. And I certainly don't care about, you know, these brand clothes, these fashion, you know, high-priced fashion designing, whatever, right? Like, you know, Bret Easton Ellis has this tick of his where he keeps on mentioning, you know, the overpriced dumb shit that these people wear, right? I don't care about any of that. I don't care about Gucci and Armani and all of this dumb shit, right? I'm on some Supreme bullshit, right? So that's it. The author captures perfectly what happens to overspoiled kids that get everything exactly when they're born. You see, sometimes you have to earn certain things to really respect their value. If you are given everything, you're gonna treat everything like it is replaceable, disposable, right? And again, it's so wonderfully done in this book. Like, see, these people, let's talk about the kids for a second. These kids have absolutely no responsibility whatsoever. And they're adults. They're 18, 19, whatever. They have absolutely no responsibility. They have absolutely no pressure put upon them. Nothing is expected of them. Nothing. They have nothing to worry about. And yet, you know, especially Clay, but also everybody else, they have this, I don't know, this anxiety. And the only way to suppress this anxiety is to, I don't know, go get some cocaine or Valium or whatever else, narcotic, whatever, so that they can handle, you know, the next day. A next day in which they do nothing at all. So because they do nothing at all, they're stressed to high hell and they need constant, you know, drug abuse. I mean, and this is, yet again, this is what bothers me, bro. You know, whenever you either read or hear about somebody being a drinker or a drug abuser, it's all about, oh, I gotta abuse these chemicals in order to feel safe and in order to feel protected and to be resilient. You know what I'm saying? It's all about down. It's all about negative. It's all about, I have to do this so I can, you know, tolerate, you know, banality. It's like you never hear about somebody drinking or taking drugs as a sort of, you know, euphoria, as glee, as ecstasy. You know, there's no passion in it. You see, I drink all day, every day. I smoke all day, every day. And I do it with passion, and I love it. And I don't do it because, oh, I'm so stressed, and and I'm so, you know, worried all the time. I don't have any anxiety, bro. And even if I did have anxiety, I wouldn't lower the value of booze and drugs, you know, in order to suppress my anxiety. I drink and I smoke to uplift myself to ecstasy, and I do it with passion. You see, it's all, in this book, it's all about, I'm shaking again, you know, daddy's gonna ask me what I want for Christmas, so I better snort some coke, you know, and I gotta go to a nightclub, and I gotta meet Blair, and I gotta meet Trent, and I gotta, you know, snort some coke, or I can't handle it. You see, these people, they can't handle the most mediocre, plain, simple tasks, what have you. That's how barren they are. They are devoid of anything human. They have no inner resources. Their parents failed them, and the parents of their parents failed them, and so on it goes. So on it goes. You see, and this is just my opinion, but most people are not equipped to be parents. You see, it takes more than materialistic things. It takes more than wealth to raise and educate a decent human being. Okay? It takes more than wealth. You have to have an essence. You have to have a quintessence to, you know, give to your child, to impart upon your child, right? Something of value, a standard, a principle, a morality, ethics, something that is more than just, here, have this money and buy whatever you want. You see, this is what creates psychopaths and sociopaths, right? It's so bothersome. It's so Listen, bro, listen. While I was reading this book, okay, every time these dumbass people, these dumbass kids complain about the most dumb shit ever, you know, and they have to take drugs for it. You know, I looked at these people and I just wanted to beat their ass. Okay. I just wanted to beat their ass. You know, a bunch of wimps, a bunch of whiners, right? Who do nothing, who there's nothing expected of them, who, like, they do nothing. They have everything and they're still complaining. They're still bitching about something or another that's superficial, that's nothing, right? It's so bothersome because maybe you have been through this as well. But listen, like I said, I didn't come from wealth. Okay, everything that I got had to be earned through work. Okay, through work, and maybe that's not the best way of handling it, right? But it's sure as shit better than receiving everything, right? And taking it for granted. And it's so hilarious. Listen, these kids, well, they refer to themselves as teenagers, but they're already 18, 19, so they're fucking adults, right? And all they do is listen to lame music, pop music. They read, these celebrity magazines. Well, they don't really read much. I guess they watch the pictures of the celebrities or whatever, right? They they buy cars, they switch apartments, they have mansions in the city, they have villas, on the beach. They don't do anything. This is what I'm saying. They engage in gossip. They talk about who is dating who's fucking who, right? All they do all day is, prowl for the next drug dealer to come by, right? Right? This is what they do. And they still complain. They still, oh my God, their lives are so difficult. So difficult. And listen, I know about anxiety. I know about depression, etc. But this is just ridiculous. This is just ridiculous, all right? Listen, if I were in this book, listen, I'd beat their ass. I'd tell them, I would tell them to grow the fuck up, You see, because they have all the money in the world. They don't have to, be humiliated like we have been to go to job interviews and work 8 hours, 10 hours and get minimum wage. They don't have to go through this. You see, they don't know what humiliation is. They don't know what embarrassment is. They don't know about real pressure. They don't know about real difficulty, right? See, they live in a bubble. This is the problem. They live in a bubble. They don't know nothing about the real world. All they know is about, celebrity gossip, celebrity news, They are engaged in fakeness and phoniness, in illusion and delusion, right? It's so infuriating. It's so infuriating, right? Because, listen, now I'm older, and if I received a sum of money, wealth, you see, I would be the happiest of them all, because I wouldn't have to worry about, like I said, the gas bill or the electric bill, right? That's it. That's all I care about. I don't want to worry about this. The rest will solve itself. I'll quit my job and I won't have to, buy certain things that are expensive in order to deceive myself to believe that I'm happy. No way. See, I don't need expensive bullshit. I need the security, right, that money provides. That's it. That's it. I don't care about jacuzzis. I don't care about fucking going abroad, etc., right? What else? Well, I guess that's about it. The author has done something amazing here. He has portrayed perfectly the superficiality of certain classes of people who are born into riches, right? This is what can happen to people. This basically is what happens to a lot of people that are either born into wealth or soon thereafter, become wealthy. They turn into I don't know, ghouls. They turn into robots. And even in this book, as well as in reality, as you can see, maybe you have seen this, but certain people, they mimic and they copy each other. So in this book, everybody wears sunglasses, even indoors. They wear the same t-shirts. They wear the same shoes. They have the same kind of cars. They go around the same places. You know, they go to the same nightclubs. They talk the same. They think the same, etc., etc. See, that's not the way to be. That's not how a true human being should be. That's not how a true life should be lived. These people should be, I don't know, they should be beyond rapture. They should be ecstatic that they have all this wealth and they can do anything, you know, but they're miserable. They live miserable little lives. And I'm just like, why, bro? Why? You know, and you can make the assessment, the judgment that, well, they did not receive that quintessential affection, love, that nurture from their parents because their parents are fucking cardboard cutouts. But still, you know, I get it. No problem. I get it. But still, bro, you have every advantage, every opportunity, all the potential and all the prospects, and they're miserable. It's so disgusting, right? They should be fucking ecstatic and passionate, right? But they're not. So what the fuck, right? This is that great paradox. The great paradox. You know, when you receive every fucking thing imaginable and you still turn out to be a dipshit, right? You know, that is probably the worst thing that you can become. This self-absorbed, you know, bozo dingbat who thinks that he or she is, you know, in this situation that isn't perfect, right? This is a perfect situation. You have everything that you need. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Oh my God, they need drugs to survive, you know, a family dinner. My God, it's so, right? It's so disgusting, right? But it is what it is. These kids are the product of their environment, of the culture that is there, you know, plastic and trash. If there is only plastic and trash, you know, garbage in, garbage out. These are plastic people who have created more plastic people. And no matter what they do, they will never ever find something that will relieve them of whatever it is that they're suffering from. They will never be whole. They will never be real people, and they may get even more wealth in the future. It won't change a damn thing. They'll still be miserable, and they might buy whatever. It won't change a damn thing, right? And I'm gonna end it with this, right? Listen, usually, when you read a book, there might be an introduction from another author, right? But this has to be the best introduction that I have ever read to any book, to any novel, right? It is written by Ottessa Moshfegh, right? Ottessa Moshfegh. It is a couple of pages, and she talks about, you know, Bret Easton Ellis and Less Than Zero, and it is a joy to read. Like, I'm jealous of this text. I wish I could have written something like this. It is amazing. And this is controversial, but to me, this is the best part of the novel. You know, the novel has its wonderful aspects and its not so wonderful aspects. What I'm trying to say is that Less Than Zero is not a masterpiece, but it's decent, right? But this is the best writing in this book, and it is by another person. It is the introduction, and it is mesmerizing. You should all, if you are an aspiring writer, you should consider reading this introduction by Ottessa, because it is wonderful, amazing. Okay, if you wanna support your boy, I got a few books on Amazon. The link will be down below. Thanks for watching. Keep on reading good books, and see ya.